to today's assembly. We are going to be focusing on differences and how we can celebrate that in school. And to do this, we are going to be reading the book Perfectly Norman. Norman had always been normal, perfectly normal, until one day. He grew a pair of wings. Norman had imagined growing taller or growing a beard like his dad, but he had never imagined growing a pair of wings. Still, they were here now, so he decided to test them out right away. Soon, Norman was swooping around and generally having the most fun ever. But then, he had to go in for dinner. You see, Norman had always been so normal, he didn't know how his parents would feel about his extraordinary wings. As he went in, Norman covered himself up in a great big coat. His parents didn't notice the wings, but they did think it was a bit odd to be wearing a coat inside. Bath time was problematic, so was bedtime. The coat was hot and uncomfortable, but Norman had decided that no one should see his wings ever. The next day, Norman went to the park, but he was far too hot to play any of his favourite games, and so it went on. Long car journeys were unbearable, the swimming pool was dreadful, and that was nothing compared to his friend's birthday party. The only time that Norman could feel normal now was when it rained. One day, a boy tried to pull his coat off, and Norman had to run away, hot-faced, angry and sad. He wished he'd never grown these stupid wings. Then he saw some birds high up in the sky and remembered the joy of his first flight. It occurred to Norman that it was the coat that was making him miserable, not the wings. "Why don't you take that tatty old thing off?" suggested Mum and Dad. Norman looked up at them hesitantly. His parents smiled and nodded back. Norman smiled back at them. He threw off the coat and let his wonderful wings fan out. Norman leapt into the air. Finally, he was free of that coat. He noticed a few other children wearing thick, heavy coats of their own. They looked up at Norman and round at each other nervously. There was a moment's pause, and then... whoosh! The sky was filled with flying people. Norman had never felt so happy. He realised that there was no such thing as perfectly normal, but he was perfectly Norman, which was just as it should be. So I hope you enjoyed that story. We are now going to be looking at celebrating differences and why we are all unique and different to our peers, and why that is okay. So why should we celebrate difference? Norman was suddenly gifted with some beautiful wings, making him different to his friends. Norman has so much fun flying high in the sky with the birds. Norman feels like he needs to hide his wings from his friends and parents. So I've popped some questions on here, which I thought you could talk about with your partners or the person next to you, and have a think about why we should celebrate difference. So, why do you think Norman was worried? How would you feel if you grew wings? And what other things might someone worry about telling people? So if you can pause this video and then press play when you are finished. So, why do you think Norman was worried? I think Norman was worried because I think he was thinking about and worrying about what other people would think of him with his new wings. And think about how he felt once he took his coat off. He felt amazing and he felt so happy because he'd almost got rid of a load that was weighing him down. How would you feel if you grew wings? I think I'd feel quite excited, really. I think I'd be a bit scared to begin with because it's new and it makes me different. But like Norman in the story, he realises that actually being different is okay, and being different is actually pretty cool, because what makes you different is what makes you unique and what makes you you. What other things might someone worry about telling other people? So people might be worried about telling their teacher they're finding work a bit tricky. They might feel a bit worried about something that's coming up soon. They might feel worried about even something like telling their parents they don't like what they've had for tea that night. But I think what's really important to remember, and what's represented beautifully in the story, is that the grown-ups and people surrounding Norman accepted him for who he was and accepted him for the differences that he had, like his wings. The people around you, whether that be at school or at home, there are people that will accept you and support you to be the best version of you that you can be. And that includes all the different things that makes you unique. So, what makes you different to the other children in your class? I'd like to take 2 minutes with the person next to you to discuss what makes you different to your partner. I put some questions on here to prompt you. So these might be: what hobbies do you have? What food do you like? What genre of books do you like to read? Where do you live? And where were you born? Please pause this video to discuss with your partners and press play once you are finished. So that comes to the end of the assembly. I really hope you all enjoyed it. I really enjoyed this story, and I think it celebrates beautifully what we do at Castlewood Academy and what we believe within the staff and the children. We all want you to be the best versions of you and show off your fantastic personalities and the things that make you unique and different. So thank you very much, and I hope you enjoyed it.